Well, let's have a look back at the goals. We'll take you back to 1-0, Gabriel. This was a set piece, and this was straight off the training pitch.
Yeah, it was really good because it was a funny start. You know, the starting position, they all started at the back post. You can see here. And it's really difficult to pick up, actually. And then there's little blocks and stuff like that. But, you know, and Gabriel just gets a good header there, just directs it into the far corner. But the starting positions were quite... You don't really see that too.
You look at Timber there, as he gets that block, and then it allows Gabriel to get onto the ball and gets a free header.
Yeah.
You know, all that just doesn't happen by chance. That's all planned. And they do a lot of set-piece practice at the training ground.
And look at that. 28 goals from set pieces since the start of last season. And you would think, actually, that teams would find them out a little bit because they're used to them scoring from set pieces, but they're still managing to deliver at such a high level.
The key thing is the quality of the cross that's coming in. Yeah. You've got Declan knocking, you know, like a cross in with pace with his right foot bending it in. You've got Saka on the other side with his left. And it's really hard to defend, you know, and that's why you're getting a lot of the little flicks. And then with Gabriel coming in, timing it perfectly, it's just a header, you know, it's a proper header on goal and it's in. You know, the goalies don't hardly ever move.
How, as a goalkeeper, would you deal with that?
It's really hard because it's all about reactions, you know, and then there's bodies in front of you, and unless it hits you, you ain't really got a chance because it's so close.
That's why you want, obviously, your defenders to make first contact, because when there's so much movement like that and there's blocks and stuff, I don't think the goalkeeper can do anything.
Yeah, well, we talked about Saka. He provided the assist for that, and then for the second goal, which Trossard fired home. Trossard, he's a good player. He's getting more and more chances to start in this Arsenal side as well.
Yeah, he is, and this is like what I was talking about earlier, you know, like Odegaard finds him there, and Buchanan could easily shoot there, but he knows that there's two people in a better position, and he just squares it in. Whether he likes his assists, I'm still not having that properly. You know, he'd rather score, but he's a very intelligent football player.
But you're right, that's an example of what you were saying.
Exactly, he could easily shoot. What would you do, Jermaine?
Probably would have shot. No, but this Arsenal, the way Arsenal playing at the minute, it reminds me of the Invincibles when you had that Thierry Henry, Ashley Cole, Robert Perez. When you know on that, they always vacated that left hand side of the pitch and very unselfish. You see a lot of the Arsenal goals back then where they'll get into positions. And players just pass it across the goal and just tap it into an empty net. But it's really unselfish. But, I mean, he makes all the right decisions, Saka.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? And then the third goal, well, it was a penalty. And we were happy with the fact that it was given as a penalty.
Yeah. The first one or the second one?
The first one.
First one, yeah. When I first saw it, I thought, he's just, you know, there wasn't a lot of contact on the player, but then when you actually see it slowed down, there's no contact on the ball at all. There's a touch on Saka's left shin, I think it is, and he goes down and that's it, you know, just there, on the left side of his ankle. And yeah, it's a penalty.
Do you know what he's really good at? When he's like a 1v1 specialist, you know, like when he gets 1v1, he commits people, and as soon as they move, he just goes past them so easy, but it was definitely a penalty. And obviously Odegaard here, you always fancy him to score.
Yeah. And then
and it was interesting, Saka giving the ball to Odegaard there, which, well...
I'm sure it's because of that celebration there. It's that celebration there.
The players are too nice these days.
No, you wouldn't have done that, would you?
Giving your goals away.
But what's the reason? Why do you think he did? Is it because Odegaard's just come back from injury? It's his first goal this season? Captain?
No, I think it's because he's either just about to have a baby or not him, obviously. It's his partner.
That's not the first time they've done it.
No.
I remember, was it last season? I think it's not the first time they've done it. And I remember Mikel Arteta coming out and saying it's just something that the players do. If someone fancies the penalty, then...
You've got to trust in your teammates.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Leandro Trossard again now because he was involved in 4-0 as well.
Dave, do you want to talk about this one?
I like this. I love this pass. You know, because it's a quick decision. Look, he has a little look up, first ball pass.
That's amazing.
The defender, like, if you're not going to get it, go with the ball. But then this finish is brilliant because he just lifts it over Fabianski's leg, because Fabianski goes to make a foot save, you know, so he's spreading his leg out and he lifts it. If he hits that along the ground, Fabianski saves that.
Yeah.
He deserves a lot of credit. Great.
He deserves a lot of credit, to be honest.
Yeah.
But the amount of goals that he scored recently and last season.
He's their top goal scorer now.
Top goal scorer. Yeah, it looks an easy finish, but it's not, because you've got so much time to think about it and you're actually running straight.
Yeah.
So you can't really see the goal, but it's a nice, cool finish.
Going back to what you said about Havertz, at the start it didn't quite click for him, and I remember the fans were really on his case as well. It was a difficult time. What was the difference? What's made it suddenly click for him? He just seems to fit into the team so well now.
think that's, he's been shown some love as well, just by the fans and by the players and the manager, because the manager kept picking him, and he was getting a lot of stick, and people were always, oh no, Trossard's playing, Havertz is playing, but he's battled through it, and then he's got a goal, then he's got another goal, and now there's a song about him, and it's brilliant, about being a waste of money, and he scores again. That's can't do all the song, but
Sure.
it's quite naughty.
The interesting part, also, when you look at the goal scorers, there were 5 different goal scorers today, Jermaine.
But it's so funny we said that because we spoke before, and I remember having a conversation with Thierry Henry, and he spoke about you need goals from all over the pitch. In the Arsenal teams, when you get Freddie Ljungberg, 15 goals, Robert Perez, Thierry Henry, so it's goals all over if you want to go and try and achieve anything. And 5 different goal scorers today, if they do that going forward, it obviously help.
We still need a striker.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that conversation's gone now, right?
Well, I would imagine so.
Yeah.
It'll never go away, because when we have a game where we don't score, sometimes it looks like we really do need one. But can you imagine if we did have one that was scoring goals? Where would that put us?
Exactly. How's everyone doing on the Arsenal group chat then? Everyone absolutely buzzing.
Yep, they're all loving it.
They're all buzzing.
The Invincibles and the Incredibles are all on there.
Invincibles and Incredibles, that's brilliant. OK, well, I mentioned the 5th goal scorer. That was Saka, because it was a penalty given. Fabianski's foul on Gabriel. What did we think of this whole incident? David, I'll come to you on that.
Yeah, it's a hard one for me, because it's not a big punch on his head. It's just like a glancing punch. He's only just missed the ball. And I've seen a few of these given recently. I remember Martinez, I don't know if it was for Villa or when he was playing for Argentina, did one like this, and he got given. And now there's a little trend, that is so minute. It's a little glance on his head, and the referee's giving it straight away. It's not. You
would have been disappointed if that was
because not only that, as a goalkeeper now, it makes you nervous. The only thing I could say about Fabianski's technique, maybe, is that when he comes out to punch, it's like he's throwing a massive haymaker rather than a short jab at the ball. And if you're just doing a short jab, your hand and your fist haven't got as far to travel. If you watch this, he really loads it up to go and punch it over the halfway line, and it just catches the side of Gabriel's head. It's a big punch.
I think even with a cross, I think it's quite high. It's not like it's whipped in. Do you think he even needs to come? I don't think Gabriel can. I don't think, because it's looped in, you can't really generate much power on the header.
Yeah, but it's in the 6-yard box. Like you said, it's got a bit of height. You would expect your goalkeeper to come for that. I think it was the right decision to come for it. Just maybe a little bit different with the execution of the punch.
Okay.